I am pleased that Boniface Engineering is sponsoring Ryan Vickers, local sportsman, a professional British superbike rider during the 2022 season. 2022 is a special year for Boniface as it celebrates its 40th anniversary. We hope 2022 will be a successful year for Ryan as well.
Thanks a lot, Mike. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you in the 2022 season. My name is Ryan Vickers. I'm a professional superbike racer in the British Superbike Championship. I'm based in Thetford in Norfolk, 5 minutes down the road from Boniface Engineering, and I'm 23 years old. I first decided I wanted to be a professional superbike racer was when I was in the transition from motocross to tarmac racing. My dad has always been into the superbike side of things, and I first of all tried it and just had an absolute love for it. I just couldn't get enough of it, and from that point on I realised that this is what I want to do and pursue my dream. In terms of my career to this day, I originally started in motocross. So from 3.5 years old, I was riding an off-road bike, on the back green and just messing around. My dad has always been into motorbikes, and from when I can remember, I've always been in the garage with my dad and revving his motorbikes and stuff like that, and on the back of him. And I started from a young age, and I progressed through. I kept riding the motorbikes, and from the age of 7, I actually made my first appearance at a race. I won my first ever race on the off-road bike, which was good, and that kick-started it. You know, I did motocross through to when I was 16 from the age of 7. Won 8 British Youth Championships, second in the Red Bull Pro Nationals, raced for Great Britain in the MX Master Kids and stuff like that, and had great success and great enjoyment from motocross. But unfortunately, there's a lot of injuries with motocross, and I got to 16 years old and I kind of lost love in the sport a little bit, and I wanted to try something new. My dad had always been into the tarmac side of racing, and we had a sponsor at the time that used to be in the superbikes, and he offered me the chance to have a go. And I got on the bike and just absolutely loved it. From that point on, I've always thought it was boring, you know, the tarmac, there's no jumps, there's no berms, there's none of this sort of stuff. But when you get on it and you get the exhilarating of the speed and everything like that, it's an amazing feeling. And from that point on, I've continued in the superbikes from when I was 16 to now currently at 23. So my favourite bits about racing a bike is the speed, the adrenaline. It's just nothing else I've found in life that compares to it. I can't get that outside of racing. No matter what I do, it's a crazy feeling, and it's really hard to actually describe it to someone that hasn't done it at like the high level, because it is different, you know. It's a very good feeling being on the edge. You're pushing to the absolute limit every corner, and you've basically crashed every corner to an extent. You're millimeters away from crashing, you know, at all times. And it's a great thing, and it's a big team effort. You know, the team have got to be working really well. It's not just about the rider, it's a lot more technical. There's a lot more things that you have to develop with the motorbike, the parts and the equipment. Everything has to be as one, and it's a massive thing as well with the fans. You know, it's at the higher level, it's just awesome. It's having 50, 60, 70,000 people there, and it's awesome to have the outskirts of the track lined with people. You know, it's such a different sight actually racing. When we was in lockdown and there was no one there, the feeling, even when you was racing, you're not directly looking at the public when you're concentrating on racing, but having that sight in the side of your peripheral vision, that there was a lot more green, it was a very different feeling, and there's no better feeling with having a lot of people there too. So my goal and what I want to achieve for the 2022 season, first of all, with the British Superbike Championship, you have something called the Showdown, which is sort of 3/4 of the way through the year. The top 8 of the standings get basically put into their own championship. They pretty much get leveled on points, and the top 8 riders of the championship fight for first place in the championship. So the first goal is for me to try and get in the showdown, and that'll be my first time being in the showdown. And even that on its own is a great achievement. There's probably 15 riders that could potentially get in the showdown, so you've got to be on top marks straight from the off at the start of the championship, and being consistent is crucial. So I think that's the first goal, and then let's see if we can get on the podium and win some races. Yeah, it's been great joining the FHA Racing BMW team. It's a well-known team. It's a real good setup. You know, they have a lot of people working in the team. They have a lot of knowledge and information over the years that they've all been together. Peter Hickman, my teammate, is a very experienced racer. He brings a lot to the table, especially to me as a youngster. I can learn a lot, and it's been a great introduction to the team. They're all very welcoming. We're like best friends now, and working with people you get on with is always an added bonus. The bike is really good to ride. It's nice, easy to ride, which is the biggest thing. And on the little laps that we've done on it, we've been fast, and we're improving all the time. So I'm looking forward to getting going. So the biggest difference jumping from the Kawasaki to the BMW, I think initially is actually the power delivery and stuff like that. The bike is very, very easy to ride on the BMW. I mean, the new BMW that I'm on this year has probably got 30 horsepower more than what I had last year, but it feels like it's got 100 horsepower less because it's just so easy. The power delivery is really nice, and the aerodynamics is amazing. You know, it's got the big wings on the front, as you can see in the pictures. It's the sort of first thing that stands out. I think it has a really big advantage with the wheelie, and that's a big thing nowadays. The bikes are only 165 kilos, 170 kilos, and they've got 240, 245 horsepower, so they're producing a lot of power, and you need those sorts of things to be able to use more power. I mean, chassis wise on the bike, in the super bikes, you can change the chassis so much that it's very difficult to actually compare it, as in that sense. You always just try and get the bike to turn in the best way to generate the most amount of grip and stuff like that. I mean, the Kawasaki's got very good mechanical drive grip on the exit of the corners, where the BMW not so much, but that's an area that me and the team are working on to try and improve. And yeah, other than that, the bike is very easy to ride, it turns really well, and yeah, we'll just keep developing the package. It depends on the length of the straight, but it will do well over 200 mile an hour if you have the straight long enough. There's a couple of places in the UK that you're at 200 mile an hour, Snetterton, Thruxton, you know, 6th gear places where you're flat out, and it's an awesome feeling. So in the British Superbike Championship, we're all on a controlled tyre, and that controlled tyre is Pirelli. That is the manufacturer that we all have to use. And we obviously have select tyres that we have used to. So we're on the slick tyres in the superbikes, and we have two options in the dry. We have the SEX, which is the softest compound, which is developed in World Superbikes, and we've taken over that tyre, and it tends to be the tyre that everybody uses. And we also have the SE0 tyre. The SE0 tyre is basically just a harder compound tyre, and if you are struggling to, say, your tyres wearing out too fast in the race, you can use the SE0, but because it's a harder tyre, you have technically less grip, so you won't be as outright fast. So that's why it's crucial to be able to use the softer tyre, and if you can manage that for the whole race, you tend to do a faster time over the race, you know, from start to finish. We have a wet tyre as well, so it's very equal. It makes every bike a lot closer together, even though the different manufacturers have different areas that their strengths are and stuff like that. It makes it a lot more of a closer competitive grid, which is what the British Superbike is known for, really, is its close racing, and always has a different winner, really. It's always tight, and yeah, there's obviously technical controls and stuff like that you can't do certain things with the bike. You can develop certain areas of the bike, and just to make it all a level playing field. So my leathers that I'm wearing are Dainese. It's a famous manufacturer that everybody knows. It's an Italian company, and they're probably one of the first companies to actually develop the airbag system in the leathers. So on the top two buttons here, you have a mechanism that basically activates the airbag. See, it's flashing green, and that's basically an ECU in the hump of the levers that goes through certain motions that it knows that you've crashed. So if you go head over heels, you know the ECU knows that you're not meant to do that on a motorcycle. That's not some position you get into. And basically, if you high side where the rear end of the bike comes over and you flip over, before you even hit the ground, the whole top torso, around your arms, around your chest, on your back, everything, there's a big airbag inflation, like a miniature version of a car. And that explodes before you've even hit the ground. So when you hit the ground, you've got a big cushion, you know. And that's been a big technical improvement through racing suits and stuff like that. And it's pretty much been developed through all racing suits. MotoGP and stuff have made it compulsory to have the airbag suit because it's proven that it protects the rider a lot more. So this is my helmet for the 2022 season. It's an AGV Pista GPRR, and it's all aerodynamic. So you obviously got this aerofoil on the back here that is designed to actually fit in with the hump on your suit here. So when you're in the tuck position, you're most aerodynamically efficient and to gain as much speed down the straight and stuff like that. We also have big air vents on the front here in 3 positions just to allow a bit of air into the helmet. It's actually got a dark visor on it at the moment for when the sun's shining and stuff, so you can see a lot better, but you have different variations of wet visors, so they're clear so you can see when it's a bit darker. And yeah, that's about it really. It's a great helmet. I've used it for the last 4 years.
That's brilliant. I can see it's got the Boniface
logo on the
40th
top.
Anniversary logo on the top. Perfect.